Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah, and today is an extra special video because it is a collaboration with a bunch of ladies, and we are all choosing different cookbooks and making recipes from them. It is hosted by Tamara over at Southern Wife Everyday Life, and I will have her channel and the playlist linked down in my description. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the cookbook I am using in this video, or for this video, and then I will get started on the recipes. This is the cookbook I'm going to be cooking out of. It is a family recipe cookbook from my husband's side of the family, and everyone has submitted, I think this was written about 10 years ago, but multiple members of the family submitted recipes, and my grandmother-in-law had put this book together to raise money for what this cook shack is there is a, I guess you could say, a plot of land, a little valley where different families have cabins and things, and for the past 100 years, for the 4th of July, everyone comes together and has a reunion type thing. So this was put together for that, and there's a lot of good things in here. I see the back you see here is like the first, well, not the very first reunion, because I think it was in 1919 or 1920, something like that, but this was the first group that started this, like I said, almost 100 years ago, and I've been going every year since. First, I'm going to be making a chicken spaghetti. I know there are multiple variations of this one, but this one is specifically out of this cookbook. And first, you are going to start by dicing up, I ended up just using half of a red bell pepper, half of an onion, and 2 stalks of celery, and then you're going to just saute it until it is translucent.
No one else makes me feel this way. Don't know what you do. Hold my hand, could you hold my hand? Look me in.
And you can either get your own whole chicken and broil it and use that chicken broth, but I decided just to go ahead and buy rotisserie chicken that was already cooked, and I got all the meat off, and I am just dicing it up into cubes.
Right here, I swear that I'll stay here with you.
And then in a 9x13 baking dish, you're going to mix together your chicken, your sauteed vegetables, 1 can of Rotel, 1 can of cream of mushroom soup, 16 ounces of Velveeta cheese cubed, and it would have been so much easier if I would have mixed the Rotel, the cream of mushroom, and the chicken together first, then put the cheese in there and tried to mix in the 16 ounces of thin spaghetti too. It would have just, I mean, of course, you see here, I eventually get it incorporated, and you're also going to throw it in, what was it? Oh, 350 degrees for, I think, about 20 minutes. It says until it's bubbly, but when about halfway through, I kind of took it out and stirred it up again, just because I was trying to incorporate all the cheese, and it turned out great. Next, I'm going to be making an Italian vegetable beef soup in the slow cooker. You're going to start by dicing up your onion, potatoes, and carrots. I had some frozen carrots in the freezer, so that's what I'm going to be using. And you're going to brown up a pound of ground beef or ground turkey and combine all those into the crock pot, as well as 1 can of Italian diced tomatoes, a 6-ounce can of Italian flavored tomato paste, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, a package of Italian seasoning, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, a little bit of black pepper, 1 quart, 4 cups of beef broth, and then 4.5 cups of water into your slow cooker. And you're going to cover it and cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours. And per usual, I will have, of course, there won't be links, but I will have all of the ingredients and recipes typed out down below in the description.
I hope who I am is enough for you.
And while this was cooking, I had some buttermilk I needed to use up, and so I wanted to make some fried cornbread. So first, you're going to start by mixing together your self-rising flour, cornmeal, baking powder, salt, and sugar, which is optional. And then in another bowl, you're going to mix together your eggs, buttermilk, water, and oil, and then of course combine the two, and just Just cooked them up in a cast iron skillet with a little bit of peanut oil because that is what we prefer. My husband is very particular about the oil that I use, and I do agree that peanut oil is the best. It's just typically one of the most expensive, so I'm always trying to use, get all my fries out of it. But this was so good. This is my very favorite way to make cornbread. It reminds me of being a kid. That's how my dad made it, and I prefer more of savory cornbread. The rest of my family prefers sweet, but sometimes Mama's going to get what she wants. And I know I've probably asked y'all before, but you'll have to let me know down in the comments whether you are a savory or a sweet cornbread lover.
Feel this way, don't know what you do. Hold my hand.
And this turned out really good, and of course it was even better the next day, which I don't know about y'all, but soups always seem to be even better the next day.
That's all I need, and I'll be alright.
And now I'm going to be making my mother-in-law's Mexican chicken casserole that she actually got from her mother-in-law, and my husband and brothers-in-law really loved it growing up. You're going to start by using a package of like the Tyson pre-cooked meat, dicing it up. It's supposed to be the Southwest, but I didn't have it, so I decided to throw in a few seasonings to kind of make it a Southwest flavor. But then you're going to also mix the chicken with mushroom soup, cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, a can of Rotel, and a cup of milk, and 2 cups of prepared rice with the chicken. And I threw in a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of chipotle powder, some cumin, I think a little bit of salt. That's all I did into that mixture. And then you're going to crush up a bag of tortilla chips or Doritos. I mean, you can do this with either way. And like I said, crush half of the bag up. Throw it in the bottom of your 9x13-inch pan. Take half of your rice and chicken mixture, put that over top, and I just, as you can see here, I use my little measuring cup to kind of smooth it out. And then you're going to put 6 slices of the Velveeta sliced cheese on top of that, and then the rest of your chips, 6 more slices of cheese, and then you're going to put the rest of your mixture on top of that, and you're going to cook it at 350 for 35 to 40 minutes. And of course this was a hit.
All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll be enough. If you're giving me your love, giving me your love. All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. I hope who I am is enough for you. If I'm giving you my love, giving you my love.
Next, I'm going to make an Italian meatloaf. I still cannot get over how good this was. So I'm doubling the recipe for my family. I have 2 pounds of ground beef. I put in 2 eggs, and actually I ended up throwing in an extra egg because my gut was telling me it needed it, and I'm glad I did. About 2/3 of a cup of pasta sauce, Italian breadcrumbs, a little bit of mozzarella, garlic powder, basil, oregano, salt, black pepper, and a little bit of parsley. And you're going to mix all that together really well. And like I said, I'll have everything linked down below, and I will just list it how it is in the cookbook. But if you want to double it, that's what I did. The cook time is just going to be much longer. Okay, so then I put it into a bread dish, or a bread, what? Y'all know what I'm talking about. A bread pan, there we go. And then you are going to cook it at 350. If you're just following the recipe, it is supposed to be for an hour and 10 minutes. But it was more like an hour and a half to an hour 40 minutes for doubling it. And it is like, I've never had Italian meatloaf before, and my husband told me this is how I'm going to make homemade meatballs from now on. Oh, here you go. You need to top it with a little bit of pasta sauce too. But like I said, my husband told me that this is how I'm making my meatballs, and it was so good. Okay, let me get sidetracked. I'm telling you, I loved it. So I ended up making some little biscuits too, and I'm making some homemade garlic butter here. Got 2 sticks of butter, some Parmesan cheese, parsley, a little bit of olive oil, and garlic powder, which I will have this link down below because it is not part of the cookbook.
Promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll
And I'm stirring this in a mason jar, and it says that you can keep it in your fridge for up to 2 months.
Promise you won't leave my side. I hope who I am is enough for you.
And now I'm going to make the little, I don't know what you call them, like muffin tin biscuits. But you're going to cut up or quarter a can of biscuits and place like 3 pieces in each muffin pan, and you'll see the last one, there's only 2, so it'll be a little bit smaller. But then you're going to top it with a little bit of your garlic butter, and honestly, I can't remember how long. I think it was like $3.50 for 20 minutes, but I will have that linked down below. And I ended up topping it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and then at the end some parsley, and these were really good. You'll see at the end some of these are missing when I'm serving because like I said, the meatloaf took longer than we anticipated and we were hungry. And I decided to be all cute, and I put a little bit of marinara sauce at the base on my platter, whatever. And then I put the Italian meatloaf on top of that. The extra sauce made it even better. I'm telling you, it was just like the best meatball you've ever tasted in your life. You can tell just by the slicing how juicy it is, and you can see the melted cheese. My middle child told me she didn't know food could taste this good. I mean, am I talking it up enough? I'm telling you, you need to try it. And then I topped it with just some parsley, just to make it look even more appetizing, like if it needed that. And served it with some green beans. And see, I don't remember how many did I make? I don't know. I think 3 or 4 of those biscuits are missing, but they were really, really good too. And that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I would love to hear about it if you decide to try any of these. They are all amazing and family friendly. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm grateful for every single one of you. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell, all that good stuff. I will see y'all Sunday.
All your love.